It began with 3 pillars, the foundation for UW Esports, pushing ourselves to greater heights.
Community.
Career.
Competition.
Oh yeah. Reminds me of Toronto Defiant Yakpung. Reminiscent of that, of just juggling everyone into the corner there.
Maybe that'll be the game changer here for UW.
Maybe. Oh my goodness! What an angle by Wizard!
Wow. What a.
Hello and sorry. Okay, some technical stuff. Hello and welcome. Tonight has been our UW Esports Game of the Week, featuring matches from our UW Esports teams. And tonight, starting right now, we're featuring our UW Overwatch team in a matchup from last week, where UW was taking on SCAD Esports in a best of 3. Our esports program seeks to build and foster community, open doors to the vast career opportunities in the field of gaming, and promote the virtues of healthy competition. Through esports, we are able to communicate with one another, forming and developing digital communities so necessary in the challenging times we're facing. We hope you enjoy being a part of our community, and we invite you to get more involved. Follow us here or on our UW Esports Discord, as well as other social channels, which are all at UW Esports. Now to introduce myself, hello, I'm andVid. I'm going to be a caster here. I'm currently a junior at University of Washington, and you might have noticed that the other caster was missing, and that's just because a couple of our casters couldn't make it, so I'm going to be trying to solo cast. This is my first time solo casting, so bear with us as we try to get you the content of the games. So for the first map, we're going to be going into Oasis. And so SCAD Esports is coming out from Atlanta, Georgia. And I'm feeling pretty good so far because UW Esports has been doing pretty well in these Overwatch games. So transitioning over to Oasis as we start to see who our team is going to be picking. We'll see our lineup. We got SME, we got Daleth, we got Tribiab, we got Mags, Sneaky, and Mad Cow. And this seems to be no, it's not a normal call-up. Sneaky is choosing what tank to go. It was a little bit concerning because they were hovering over Roadhog, which we haven't really seen them play, but D.Va is a lot more typical of them, so a lot more standard. As the map starts to open up, we're going to be having Symmetras on both sides to get the extra ground so they can get to center as quickly as possible. Mags on Hamster, that's always a treat to see. Got to run around and stun, but you're going to running into another Hamster. So they're both going to be trying to push each other off. It's hard to bother the other team when they also have a Hamster. But it looks like UW on the side of red is going to be not going straight to the point just yet. They're trying to get some kills, but they're going to die. They're going to be losing the first Mad Cow disease on healer falls, and so does Sneaky. SME, the only person on the UW team getting a kill before the rest of them fall. Dailift really low, and is going to be punished now for being alone, really. Wasn't really their fault. The rest of the team died. All of UW having to reset now as SCAD takes the point. As the percentage starts to build up, UW's got to think of a different way to enter here. I think they were kind of shocked at first when they ran into the other Hamster. They should have been able to kind of mess around with that a little bit more, but that seemed to, like, UW just backed off of that. And it looks like they're going to be trying to go for a round instead of going to a direct confrontation. They're going to be trying to get around and go straight to the point. That way the fight happens on the point. So if they win it, they can immediately start capping. But SCAD is instead going to be using their healing, all their healing, to try to save their life and take a couple kills. They take out Mad Cow disease again. That's going to be another loss to the healing. UW has to protect their healers a little bit more if they want to stay in these longer fights. As SCAD takes out Daleth, their second healer, and they're left with no healers. SME trying to make something work. They've been poking a lot, especially with the Hamster, but they've got an ultimate, so they're going to be running all the way in, try to get from the backline. But they're trying to team up with the rest of the group, but UW is scattered. UW hasn't been able to get into a major team fight together. They're all taking a bunch of 1v1s, really. But now we got 3 of them, 3 of UW members all right next to each other. Finally, a little bit of a group up. UW going onto site. They got a few ults, so they got to use them here, and they got to finally cap as the point is already upwards to 70%. SME going invisible. He sees one target. He sees another. And he uses it here. He doesn't get the Zen. Zen is able to punish them and push them back, so they have to regroup. That's a bit of a wasted ult there. Daylift still has an ult of their own, but they got to get close to their other teammates if it's going to be any value. Zenyatta on UW's team already committing it, even though they weren't fully low, and they only had 2 tanks. But now the rest of the team is here, as the point is already over 90% in favor of SCAD. UW for the final team fight, and they get 2 kills. That's a good way to start it, to keep it open. The Brig versus Brig, but one of them's ulting, so Daylith is going to take the kill there. And UW finally captures it just in time. They got 99% before SCAD was pushed off point. But it doesn't look so even though UW captured it, it's still looking a little bit tough for UW because they have a long time to bring back. And it wasn't a clean fight. It took a while. It was a bit of a stalled fight. So UW needs to regroup and stay together so they don't get picked off 1v1. But Trib is already gone. He's going to have to respawn and come all the way back. Max throwing out an area denied just to try to make space, get rid of that Brig ultimate. And Daylith, the UW healer, falls. And with the rest of the team, yeah, all of UW falls with a team 4K right there. And now that it's 99% the overtime and everybody's basically reset, all of UW mostly in spawn. UW's going to try to stall a little bit longer, but I don't think they're going to make it in time. Only one person kind of stalling a little bit. Ooh, actually that Zenyatta ultimate is going to buy them a little bit of time, a couple more seconds before it goes down. But now Mad Cal is in the back line, and he's going to get picked off because he's a healer. He needs help. He needs to stay with his buddies, and it's going to be hard to do when they're all just running straight onto point and being taken out. Yeah, that was a little expected. Once they got to the 99%, UW had to stay on it the entire time. They could, if they lost it, and they did lose it. That was kind of it. If they had to either hold it the entire time, or it was kind of over. Because if they lose one team fight, they can all respawn and try to get back, but it's all in overtime. So unlucky. But now UW knows how SCAD works, so maybe they can try something new. I think they've been a little bit cautious of going direct team fights, but I think that's what they have to do because SCAD is playing this super aggressive. They're like running straight into the fights, and UW is trying to like go around the back end, try to fight on point, but no, they gotta face that aggression with equal amount of aggression if they're gonna have any shot. But they got a Reinhardt, so hopefully they can use that to try to get into closer team fights, and they're doing it right off the bat before they get walled off. And Mag's stuck in here, staying alive thanks to Baptiste's immortality shield, and the rest of UW can be there to back him up as SME gets a kill on Alone, but Alone getting 2 kills of their own using their sentry trinkets, even though they're post-mortem. And a couple more UW people falling before it's just scattered remains on the point. Poor SME is so low, he's stuck alone. He's gonna try to get some heals so he doesn't become a stagger. He's super low. Okay, he's found his buddies. They're going for a speed boost. That means they're probably gonna go into a fight right here. They're kind of getting walled off into this in this side room, trying to keep the Mei out of there. Mag's going all the way around on the back. Now they're fighting on SCAD side of the point, and they're getting a bunch of kills too. SME taking the MVP there, where they got a kill with their ultimate and a separate kill outside of that. Alone getting another 2K. Alone and their turrets are doing too much damage. They need somebody to get on top of those turrets. But it looks like SCAD takes back the point, and they're already at 30%. This isn't looking good for UW. There's already a lot of pressure because they lost the first point. They can't lose this next one. But now UW is kind of all respawned, and they're getting ready to go in for another move. SCAD, all their people moving around. They're ready. They're feeling good. Mags is his ultimate. Paired that with Mad Cow Disease, they might actually have a chance here. They're feeling the turrets. Nobody really destroyed. Oh, it was a good shield by Mags, getting rid of their ultimate. They throw down on one of their own, but they're on top of a wall, so it didn't do much. Mad Cow Disease keeping everybody still alive as the fight goes on, but they already lost SME. That's a lot of damage potential that's gone. They throw down a Blizzard to try to catch one. They capture the Rhyme, but aren't going to be able to kill him. as he's got too many heals on and he's back to full health. As is the rest of the team, as they throw in their own Blizzard, they get rid of Mags. Trivia on the Mei, quick switch, got rid of a healer and Symmetra. But is it going to be enough? Because Scad still has many bodies on point. As they do a hammer down and it catches 2 people. And they get a follow through and get rid of SME while the other UW member runs away. But Mags is here to try to distract, but they get frozen. There's too many people there. They push him all the way back. So even though he survives for a little bit longer, he falls with the rest of his team as there's another team wipe. Scad has been doing pretty well with these team wipes. The Sneaky is alone on the high ground, super low. Trying to stall, but can't even touch point. Oh, this is looking rough for UW. So one of the things I kind of mentioned in the first one, it didn't play as much in the second map of Oasis, but Scad has been really forward with they want to fight. They've been like kind of rushing in as a team, all close together, and taking fights where they feel they have an advantage. And so they've got like a really fast energy that UW needs to match if they're going to have any sort of chance, because they've been kind of like tippy-toeing around. They're trying to get onto point without getting any kills first when they need to kind of match this aggressive play style the Scad has going on. But as we're going into the next map, which is going to be King's Row, UW is pretty good with King's Row. I mean, like of the times I've seen them, they've won almost every time. They got some good players and characters that work well on this map. So let's start going to character selection and see what they got up their sleeve. So UW still on red. On attack. And these are some of their normal characters. We saw Trivia switch near the end of that last game onto Mei and actually get a few kills like as soon as they switched, so that's promising. But looking at the Scad players alone was playing Symmetra, and they didn't switch off. They weren't just there for gaining ground. They were actually doing really well, because even after they died, we saw that they got 2 kills using their turrets. 2 kills! Come on, dude. I wish I could do that. But now they're over on McCree, so I guess they got aim too. As the doors start open, Trivia shooting some icicles, trying to get some early damage. Mad Cow Disease going over to the right. This is kind of the normal thing. They get walled off. They try to get this alone Mei, but they have a wall of their own. It's able to survive just for a little bit longer as the immortality shields come from both sides. They both get destroyed from each side. And we see the first fall as SME gets a kill off J-Cree. But SME falls, so it's a bit of a trade, but Dalef in the background has got rid of Javier Fan 17 and got rid of another tank. They got rid of 2 tanks. So UW feeling good. They're feeling willing to capture this point as they got rid of both of the tanks. They still have a little bit of competition on the high ground, so Triviab's gonna jump up, push them off, and force them into this room. Alone taking a bunch of damage, but they're both below half. Trying to get a kill, but no, Triviab doesn't care. They got point, that's all they want. They just gotta move this payload. So they capture point, and now that they have it, Mags is able to help the rest of the team out and finish off any of the survivors. Off and off. Up in the high ground, still alive, hasn't died yet. They're gonna try to push down. UW has been doing really good with punching the high ground, because Scad has tried to like secretly have high ground, and like 2 or 3 UW people gang up on them, just run, jump up, push them off. Really good awareness, especially as they've been moving the point this entire time. They're not willing to sacrifice getting like 1 or 2 kills and losing the point. No, they need to keep the escort going the entire time. And they're doing really well timed. I mean, there's just below 5 minutes and they're already like halfway through the streets. As we start going to the next checkpoint. Both teams still fully alive. There's going to be a big team fight. SME trying to open it up, gets walled off. Isn't going to be able to see anybody, but trying to make a little bit of room. Keeps Javier pinned in that little spot right there. As it goes down, still isn't able to get anything, but it was enough. It was a distraction as the rest of UW got 2 kills. They got rid of Baptiste and Alone. Yes, Scad is only able to get like 1 kill before the rest of them falls. UW is feeling it now. They're the ones putting out all the damage this time. Yeah, this is good energy from UW. I think they came back after that first loss on Oasis pretty well. They haven't taken it to heart. They're still going full energy. Trib's just going to wait for the right moment to use this ultimate. And it's right now. Before the fight even starts, they throw down a blizzard, see if they can find anybody sneaky with the ultimate, seeing if anybody was frozen, but they don't, so they're going to be saving that bomb for later. Trib falling pretty early in the game, in the team fight. Mag's super low, being saved by the immortality shield, and mad cow disease healing their teammates. That's a good healer right there. Baptiste trying to keep them alive as they get a few kills. The bomb from Sneaky actually was able to work even without the blizzard help. And as they're able to get rid of their copycat diva and keep moving the escort farther. They're not going to be able to finish it off because it's still a bit of distance to go. But they're going to be pushing up anyway. They're really deep in this. Yeah, alone punishing Mags for being like all the way up near spawn. And that's going to be hard to capture. UW is going to have to run away. They go wall it off and just get out of there, get out, go. SME falling before they can run away. And now Scad is pushing up super high. Okay. Oh my gosh, and it's going to be working. They got to kill. Javier still alive with help of their healers. Gets walled off and says, okay, we should probably start backing up. Yeah, they slowly start backing up. That's really funny. It went from UW being way over pushed. They were right next to their spawn. And then Scad got a few kills and did the exact same thing to UW, but in the opposite, going all the way to their spawn. But now we're going into a little bit of a middle ground. Alone getting super close with their ultimate, trying to making space, gets a frozen Mags, is able to finally get a kill as soon as they got rid of the immortality shield. Mad cow disease, really low, doesn't have a shield, so has to run up, get that heal in the background. Trying to keeping SME alive. And he gets, SME is not only alive, but getting a few kills. Alone, though, getting 2 kills. Man, that's some cowboy standoff there. Alone getting 2 kills and SME only getting 1. Feels bad. So Scad is going to realize their wins and fall back a little bit more. As the clock is still ticking down, so even though they've lost a bunch of fights here, UW still has 3.5 minutes. 3 minutes 20 to move this tiny little bit of distance, the last inch. Ooh, but that Scad Blizzard is going to be really deadly because Mags gets caught in it and punished for it, killed too. UW throws their own Blizzard, but it's kind of too late because there's nobody able to hurt the people who are frozen on the side of Cat. Sneaky throws an ultimate, it gets immediately shielded off though. And then Scad pulls up their own on that one person. Off and off, use that ult just to get rid of Sneaky. Now UW is all the way back in their spawn once again, having to regroup. Man, UW was feeling really good this entire map until that last team fight. Because they were moving the escort all the way, and if they had just one more team fight, they could have capped it. But now the escort is kind of pushed back halfway through this last third. So even if they win one team fight here, they're gonna have to win probably 2 or maybe 3 if they extend it long enough. SME getting a kill pretty early on, so with the shield being gone, but it's not gonna be worth it. Even though they got the first kill, Scad is getting a bunch of others off and off, especially using their defense matrix, canceling that fire charge and a bunch of the shots. They got a little bit of high ground. UW trying to go through the building, maybe? I don't know where their approach is here. Okay, we're going into another team fight. Does UW, are they going to be able to survive a couple seconds, please? SME getting walled off, so they have to go all the way back. That's a ton of time where a bunch of damage has been pushing onto the rest of the UW people. And they corner Trib, take him out as they lose the first DPS in the team fight. So Mags is not going to be leading the charge. They have to be the one deciding to take the fights or not, and they're deciding to run away. Kind of leading SME alone up front, and he's getting staggered. Mad Cow, he's having to break this wall in front of their spawn. They can't even leave. Let us play the game. Mad Cow Disease has a window. Let's see if they find a place to put it. And that bomb right there is going to go off. They're gonna be, Mags is gonna be able to protect them, so nobody falls to it. But but Alone take out Mags in the process. A couple trades here, as there's only maybe like 4 people in combat on each side. SME getting a kill of some overextended Scad members, but it doesn't matter because they still have Javier on point. Even though he's super low, he's able to use his ultimate to get rid of Trib. SME and Mags trying to push this all by themselves with Sneaky in the background. Okay, UW has gotten on the escort, and they've been able to get a couple kills, so they're able to move it. If they can move this escort and then win like one more team fight, then they still might do it. There's only 30 seconds left on the clock. They're going to be getting to overtime pretty soon. As we're going to the next team fight. SME not getting any value of his ultimate, and there's another high noon on the opposite side, but Sneaky getting 2! Oh my gosh, SME and Trib following it through. Mad Cow Disease getting a kill for their own. That's going to be a big team wipe there. As UW actually captures it last second with, 16 seconds. Last 16 seconds. Man, Sneaky with that ultimate came out of nowhere. I didn't even see it until I saw the kills. Man, that is just what they needed. And they only have 16 seconds left. Man, they got to that last third with like 3 or 4 minutes left, and they only captured the last 16. So even though they captured, it's going to be tough, especially if SCAD gets all the checkpoints. They run the escort all the way through. 16 seconds is like not much to deal with. That's like no breathing room. But then again, SCAD still does have to make it all the way through. So it's possible that UW runs away with this one. As we get back into the game, let's see if they're going to be switching up any of the characters. Alone has a Widow. Widow's pretty good with this first window, and then usually they switch off of him. But Alone, especially with the picks they've been getting as McCree, I can see them being a deadly window. On the side of UW, it looks like they're going to have the same exact comp. I guess it worked. It worked for like the first half of offense. I mean, they did run it all the way through, but they lost so much time in that final third. On the side of SCAD, though, it looks like outside of that Widow, it's going to be kind of the same. As the game started opening up, Alone looking at the balcony, trying to see anybody. Sees the D.Va, but that defense matrix isn't allowing them to do any damage, so they're going to be falling down and switching to Symmetra. Oh no, the Symmetra! Alone Symmetra is a force to be reckoned with. It's a little bit scary. As the wall goes up, trying to capture anybody, but it doesn't. Mags is going to be getting that May. The Scout is pushing up anyway. As Alone gets a kill before dying along with the May. Both DPS gone for SCAD, so they're going to have to probably run away from here. Instead of running away, they're going to be running into the left room and pushing up. They're getting a kill on SME and decide to capture point as UW is all busy on high ground. So they capture almost the first third. They get the first third down while still a bunch of UW people are alive. UW is alive, but they're letting point go to waste, basically, as they're all fighting inside the building before 2 of them fall, Trib and Daleth. Sneaky losing their suit before dying as well, and Mad Cow Disease unable to heal as they're dead. Mags on 44 health, basically dead. Yeah, it's a bit of a cleanup now. Sneaky falls on point. Man, SCAD was able to also capture this point really quickly. That's kind of concerning for UW, because the main advantage they had was they were able to capture the first half of the map very fast. But if SCAD can do the same, then that 16 seconds is going to be kind of frustrating. UW just waiting. They know right around the corner Javier gets shot in the back, so has to kind of fall back a little bit. They're waiting for somebody to go through that parlor. Mags has his ultimate. They're going to be waiting for a shield to go down, but Javier from the side gets 3 of them. The immortality shield is able to save them, but they took a bunch of damage. So even though the Lucio ult was able to give them a bunch of temporary health, as soon as it's gone, a couple fall, especially Mags. Trib's still alive as a Blizzard, but doesn't want to commit it just yet because they only have half. And the rest of the teammates are gone. And another team wipe. SCAD is really good that when they get kills, they're like team wipe kills. They're not just like one-offs, which can happen to UW, where UW gets like the first kill in a team fight, but then loses the fight. SCAD, when they go in, they go all in. I got to give them respect for that. So Javier's keeping it pushed up really forward as they get the checkpoint in the back. They're getting to this final third with 5 minutes and 27 seconds. That's so much time. A couple Blizzard overlaps. Try to get a couple of kills as Mad Cow Disease falls along with Trib. SME getting a kill, but it's only on a Lucio. I mean, they're a healer, they're important, but SCAD doesn't care as they're moving up anyway. Javier pushed up really far. Super far. both D.Va ults, but one of them getting a kill. Sneaky getting a kill in the back on Snape, but Javier doesn't care as they're super far up. They get punished for Mags being a good Reinhardt and knowing when to swing. And yeah, it looks like Skad's gonna have to give up the escort here. With only like 3 players left. Okay, 2 players left. SME and Sneaky together. Ooh, Sneaky getting an S2K, getting rid of off and off. And Jakey. Yeah, UW was able to kind of, man, that wasn't, I don't want to say it was like they won the fight, but it took a while. And they lost a lot of ground to it. SME's got an ultimate. Hasn't been able to get much value other than making space, but and that ultimate is hard to work with. Yeah, the ultimate gets immediately walled off. And they just wait for the timer to go down. The Scad is around the corner. And looks like they're committing pretty soon, but that Blizzard's probably going to push them off for a little bit longer. As Alone is stuck all the way in the back. But now that they can actually get on site, they throw up a big shield all across the map. Mags and SME getting 2 early kills. Looks like UW is going to be leaning to be winning this next fight. Yeah, they're able to cancel that ultimate pretty quickly, and Skad's chances are looking slim. Although off and off does get a kill off Daleth, and Alone gets a kill off Trib, and Alone gets another kill, and off getting a kill on Mad Cowsies. This turned around quickly. Even though Scab was able to, unfortunately lost a few people, they won the team fight. And they're guarding the doors. They've got a wall off. SMU is able to get through Sneaky on site, but is dying on point. As the Blizzard goes on protecting it, Mags and Daleth unable to touch. Jeez. Talk about surprising finishes. UW, when they won that final point, it was because like a crazy last second sneaky ultimate. In this case, it was Skad. Sorry, it's hard to say that name. Skad won a team fight near the entrance of the final third, and they won that team fight and used it to get all the way. They were right in front of the doors before they won. Usually, there's a team fight in the front part of the underground, and then there's a team fight at the very end. But Skad used the team fight from the beginning and just carried it all the way through and pushed up super far. But so it looks like it's gonna be going to 3-3 as we get into this next round. UW going from 16 seconds to 1 minute. A little bit of a roundup. That's gonna be super nice because Skad has 3 minutes and 48 seconds. Yikes! It's looking tough for UW. But once again, UW was looking good in the first half on their attack. On their attack, they rolled through the first half of the map pretty well. But then they kind of fell through in the final third. So maybe they can use their first minute to get really far. And maybe that'll be enough. As the gates open, they have to rush on points. They only have 1 minute. It's either now or never. They run through, they're getting tagged up by the Symmetra turrets. They throw up a wall to try to isolate a few players, but they're able to get away. Nobody falls yet. Oh, SME is the first one to fall. That's looking tough for UW. UW's got to fight now because they don't have much time to reset. So if they're going to die, they have to die right now. Mag's super low. Oh, gets pinned and killed. Sneaky, along with them falling. Yeah, the rest of the UW falls back. Now with only 20 seconds, they need to regroup and get on point. But Daily with the R is super low. It's going to be a stagger as he falls down. That's going to be tough. UW, with the last 10 seconds, doesn't have a full team to push, but they got to go now. They're running out of time. A hammer down gets canceled out by the shield. They're able to use that to push on the site, but Mad Cow Disease already down. Once again, that's going to be low heals as they try to go for this final fight as overtime goes on. Everybody contesting on point, but that Blizzard is going to push them off. As the clock comes down, they can't get on point. They can't touch. That Blizzard killed them. Man, Jakey came in clutch with that final Blizzard play. Not letting UW touch the point, I think, at all that game. I think they were able to touch it just for overtime, but all the team fights were outside of it. That's unfortunate. UW probably really feeling that because now if Skad just gets the first third of that point, they're going to win it all. So let's go straight into that. As we see, I'd be surprised if they changed anything with the comp. They have to play it super safe. So they got to play what they're familiar with and what they've been playing this entire time. as we start going into the assembling your heroes. And let's see what they're going to... Yeah, they're going to be going with the same exact comp. Even though they're feeling it right now, they're UW a little bit nervous. They got to play it safe. They're unable to risk anything, really, because they have 3 minutes. They have 3 minutes and 48 seconds. Basically 4 minutes to defend this first third of the point. Man, it's they're still in the game. Don't get me wrong, but it's looking rough for UW. On attack, though, it looks like Alone's going to go for the Widow. They weren't able to find anything, so they immediately switched off, but they have the time to try it. They've got 3 minutes and 48 seconds. I want to keep saying that. 3 minutes and 48 seconds. So much time to get that first third of the point. Especially since both this teams in like the first rounds captured the first point within like, I don't know, I want to say like two minutes maybe. That's plenty of time as they already start going into the first team fight. They're playing it kind of a little bit slowly, and that's good because they can afford it. They want to get a few kills, get a few respawns before fully committing. A couple walls go up in between them, but now that they're gone, they're going to be collapsing onto one another. Mag's already super low. The immortality shield just barely keeping him alive, but as soon as it's taken out, he's on top of the wall, a huge target, and falls to off and off. There goes the first UW casualty as Dela follows them. They're able to get a little bit of a trade, but it's not going to be enough as Trib also falls. SME and Sneaky still keeping it alive, but Baptiste keeping the window, super early window, all alone, but they're able to risk it because, I mean, all they have to do is get the first third, but they aren't able to fully get it as the rest of UW supports gets on site, and we're looking for another team fight. Looks like Scad was able to lose that first one. UW going back to the fight. Mags immediately getting a bunch of damage early on, just like the last fight. But this time, Javier's the first to fall. There goes the shield for Scad. Looks like they're going to be losing a second team fight as their Mei is stuck in that little corner. And as soon as the iceberg is gone, they're getting just completely covered with all the UW players. They're able to keep surviving, but Mei was able to get away. Another really early ultimate right there from the Diva. It looks like Scad doesn't care about tactical placements. They're just throwing whatever they have as they throw in a blizzard. It gets a few people, but there's nobody really there to punish them except for off and off. And Sneaky getting another bomb with the 2K is going to mean UW is looking to win this next team fight once again. Man, I was talking earlier about Scad being really aggressive on the offense, and they are, but this time they're kind of doing it like messy. They're all doing it. There's no coordination. Before, they were all pushing in together, like in a small group, or at least like coordinated from like different angles. But this time, they're all taking like individual fights and they're losing them. And they've already used so many ultimates. They throw in a window right here, and we got windows from both sides. Mag's taking a bunch of damage when they throw down their ultimate, getting rid of Javier. There goes the shields once again for Scad. If they're going to be capturing, they have to do it without that main tank. So they're going to be waiting a little bit longer around the statue. Mei taking a bunch of damage for healing back up. They throw in a Hanzo ultimate. It rips through the map. Doesn't get any kills, though, but it does get a bunch of damage. Enough for Lucio to throw in their ultimate. But now that it's gone, the bomb doesn't take anyone out. Alone getting a kill on Mags, though. And there goes a second. There goes a third player on UW, losing one of their heals, one of their DPS, and one of their tanks. It's only 3 people left to defend. And SME is trying to keep alive, and they're able to. So even though UW was able to stay alive, Scad won King's Row, and that's the best of three. So they won the first 2 games. So Scad takes it all. Scad, with their offensive pushes, wins the game, and I gotta say congratulations because they were doing good. They were able to poke holes in UW's playstyle that UW wasn't able to respond to. So I gotta say congratulations. Even though I'm a big UW fan, obviously, I gotta respect them that they know how to deal with this. They knew where to push our buttons. And so just for a quick recap, we had Oasis and King's Row where Scad took both of them. On Oasis, UW wasn't they weren't pushing forward enough. They were kind of like trying to go like around and try to take team fights like in the back or going straight to point without going into the fights. But Scad was being super offensive the entire time. And then again on King's Row, even though UW had a really early first half where they pushed the escort all the way through, that final third, they just kept losing and they kept feeding over and over and over again until they were being punished all the way back into their spawns. Scad taking this best of 3, getting a clean 2-0. Sorry, UW fans. I'm sorry. What can I tell you? Maybe next week when I have another co-host with me. But looks like it's going to be it for now. So congratulations to Scad. Thank you so much for joining us at University of Washington Twitch channel tonight and spending time with our production crew and players and talent. So remember to check us out at UW Esports on most of our platforms. That's Twitter, that's Instagram, and that's YouTube, UW Esports. And join the Discord if you're interested in volunteering behind the scenes. Like, we could use another caster. Hey, if you're playing Overwatch. Other than that, it's me, andVid. Have a good night.